For a long time, Angel Road was famous for being London's least used station. These days, it's not used at all because it closed in 2019. It was replaced that same year by Meridian Water, just over 600 yards south. In many ways, it's not surprising that Angel Road closed. It's a fairly bleak and inhospitable location surrounded by industry. It's located in Edmonton, but not very centrally. And at the time of its closure, passenger numbers were so low that it only received a service during peak hours. So how did this Angel fall? It may surprise you to know that it was actually a pretty old station. It first opened in 1840 as part of the Northern and Eastern Railway. The Northern and Eastern Railway was a scheme to build a main line from London to York through East Anglia. Getting from York to London would, in theory, provide a hugely profitable railway corridor from north to south, so just about every company had their eye on it. Unfortunately, the cost of the planned route resulted in cutbacks. Instead of running to York, it would only run to Cambridge, and instead of building their own London terminus, they negotiated use of the Eastern Counties Railway's Shoreditch terminus, which was roughly where Shoreditch High Street is today. In the end, the line would get no further than Bishop's Stortford. The Eastern Counties Railway used a non-standard track gauge of 5 feet, so the Northern and Eastern had to too. So that's the background. Angel Road was opened as Edmonton, and in the grand tradition of misleading station names was 3/4 of a mile from Edmonton Village. Actually, this was a common complaint about stations on the Northern and Eastern Railway. The arrival of the railways often stimulated suburban development, but that wasn't the case with this station. The fares were high and those early trains were slow. Railways would need to improve before the age of the commuter could really take off. Nevertheless, Angel Road/Edmonton was a more substantial station in those days. It had a platform canopy, decent station buildings, and a goods yard, which is where this scrapyard is today. In 1849, a new branch to Enfield Town was opened, and Edmonton became the junction station. That same year, a new station opened, which took the name of Edmonton, and the old Edmonton was renamed Water Lane. In 1864, Water Lane was renamed Angel Road, and you know what, I think I'm just going to call it that from now on. The real bread and butter of Angel Road was goods traffic. The undeveloped land with a railway connection was the perfect place for industry, with the gasworks opening in 1847. More factories would follow with their own sidings. In 1852, there was enough traffic to justify building a goods shed. This would later be replaced with a larger goods shed, complete with a crane. Yet as time went on, Angel Road's fortunes waned. While there was plenty of goods coming through, passengers still weren't overly keen on the station. Housing development did come in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, but people preferred to commute by bus or tram. Edmonton Council would later build tower blocks nearby, but this did little for Angel Road Station. Facilities such as bowling greens and allotments came and went as the land was sold off for more industry. In 1939, part of the line to Enfield, including the link to Angel Road, was closed to passengers. In 1964, goods services were also withdrawn. By the 1940s, electrification of the suburban lines in East London was considered a priority, although the line through Angel Road wouldn't be electrified until 1969. One interesting might-have-been took place in 1947, when London Transport submitted a proposal for the underground route that would eventually become the Victoria Line. One of the suggestions they made in this proposal was that the line incorporate the surface railway between Tottenham Hale and Waltham Cross, which would have put Angel Road on the underground map. Of course, subsequent revisions put paid to this, but it's strange to think that there might be a parallel universe where it's on the tube. In 1975, the North Circular Road Viaduct was rebuilt. Now, the entrance to the station was from a staircase leading off the bridge and down an alleyway alongside industrial premises. The old station building was demolished and replaced with a smaller building in 1987, which was itself demolished just a few years later. Angel Road was little more than a pair of platforms with a couple of shelters and a footbridge. It was pretty uninviting, and it's no surprise that it wasn't attractive to passengers. By 2017, the station saw just 11 trains a day, with none on weekends or public holidays. On a personal note, this channel has taken me to places that are dingy, desolate, and even dangerous, but Angel Road is a strong contender for the most depressing station I've ever seen. But change was a-coming. Industry in the area had also declined in the second half of the 20th century. The gasworks was gone, as were many of the once substantial factories. Those that remained preferred to send their wares by road. With all that vacant land, Enfield Council proposed Regeneration. The area became known by the name of Central Leaside, as consideration was given as to what should be done. By 2015, plans had crystallised into a massive new development, a new suburb to be named Meridian Water. The underperforming Angel Road was to be closed in favour of a new station better situated to serve the new housing. The closure was delayed as a result of Meridian Water not being complete, but on the 31st of May 2019 the last train called at Angel Road, ending nearly 180 years of railway history. On the 3rd of June, Meridian Water opened. At present it's served by a shuttle service from Stratford, with a handful of peak-hour trains travelling further and one daily train to Liverpool Street. Confusingly, there are platforms 2, 3 and 4, but no 1. This is to be added if future demand justifies it. It's also been earmarked as a possible stop on Crossrail 2, although the future of that is far from certain in the wake of the COVID pandemic. The station was pretty quiet when I visited, but to be fair, a lot of the land around is a building site. It's anticipated that the station will see 4 million passengers a year when development is complete. We shall see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, even if the visuals weren't exactly inspiring. If you did, then please do leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more. Thanks as ever to my generous donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are the new housing development to my Meridian Water. And I'll see you all again very soon. Cheerio.